Hi everyone, I'm Jodie here from Club Calisthenics, and we are going to work on some press handstands today. Straddle presses to be exact. So we're going to do regressions and progressions for any skill level, so stick with us. For today, you will need some sliders and or paper plates. They should be great on the carpet if you are doing your practice on the carpet. Additionally, a yoga block will be great for those who are still working on their mobility, because we're going to do a little bit of compression work, a little bit of straddle, good mornings, and so these are great for anyone who is still kind of, working on loosening up their hamstrings. So these are the items that you need for today, and I'm going to put these aside and we're going to get started on our workout. All right. Oh, sorry you guys. Today I also have Nicholas here with me. I apologize. He's going to be our demo and he's going to work out with me and us. So we're going to start with just some neck circles. So we're going to go from the top to the bottom. We're going to do 6 or 8 neck circles to the left. Nice and slowly. Now we're going to switch and go to the right or the other direction, whichever way you went the first time. Alrighty, you're going to look down. Bring your chin to your chest as best as you can. Feel a stretch in the back of your neck. We're going to look up. Try and bring your chin to the ceiling. Look down again. Bring your chin to your chest. And then up again. Chin to the ceiling. All right, let's start loosening up our shoulders. We're gonna start with our right arm. We're gonna just do some arm circles to the back for 1. And you're protracting your shoulder on the way forward. You're reaching super high when you get to the top, and you're reaching really far back when it's behind you. And then you wanna try and keep your rib cage centered for every circle that you do. So we don't wanna do this because we're not really working our shoulders. Well, the range of motion anyway. I don't know how many that was. All right, let's switch. Alrighty, let's go left arm back, same thing. Really high, retract your shoulders, protract, reach high, retract. Alrighty, left arm forward for 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alrighty, we're gonna do some swimmer's claps. So arms front to back, alternating between which one is on top. You can think about hugging your shoulders, and then also whenever your arms are behind you, you can think about trying to touch the backs of your hands. We're gonna do some German arm swings. So right arm, we're concentrating on the arm that's above our head. So you wanna try and reach through your spine with that top arm. And then it can just be loose and side to side. 3, 4, 5, 6. Alrighty. Working our way down, we're going to loosen up our hips a little bit. So we're going to go for some hip circles. You're going to really push your hips forward and feel the stretch in your hip flexors. Push your hips back and kind of feel it in your hamstrings. And we'll switch directions. One more. 6. All right, we're going to move into some trunk circles. So you're going to go down the left side of your body. You're going to kind of sweep between your legs, come back up the right side of your body. You're going to do a little arch on the way back, whatever feels most comfortable, and then back down the left side. So we're going to do 6 on one side and 6 on the other. Nice and slow. You should feel a side stretch, and then on your way back, you should stretch out your back. This should be a side bend. You feel it in your obliques. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. Now we're going to switch sides. You're going to go down the right, up the left. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. Alrighty, so we're going to do a forward fold, just stretch out our lower body. So with your feet a little wider than hip width apart or shoulder width apart, we're just gonna do a forward fold. So we're gonna do some bounces while we're down here. Really flex your hip flexors to try and bring your chest closer to your knees. You should feel a stretch behind your knees and your hamstrings. In addition to bounces, you can hold your elbows and you can sway side to side if that feels good to you. You can just let yourself hang down to the middle. Now we're going to do a little bit of more of a static hold. So try and think about bringing the top of your head towards the floor. So you want to try and squeeze really hard. You're engaging your hip flexors to try and bring your chest closer to your knees and your head closer to the ground. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Slowly come up. Now we're going to bring our feet together and we're going to do a pike forward fold. So now you're going to start to bounce, bringing your chest to your knees. So we're not doing our head to our knees. We're concentrating on bringing our chest to our knees because that's where you get the best stretch in your hamstrings. And you can pedal your knees a little bit, straighten one while you bend the other. If that feels good. And then we'll move into a static hold, again, where you're engaging your hip flexors to try and bring your chest closer to your knees and your head closer to the ground. Just hold it. 3, 2, 1. And we can go down to our knees from here. We're going to go ahead and stretch our wrists. So we'll start out with palms down, fingers forward, and just just going to be in your tabletop position, and the eye of your elbow should be facing forward, shoulders should be away from your ears, and whatever position you're in, you're just going to kind of do some bounces forward. We're going to do about 10 to 15 bounces. If you need to go side to side, that's fine too. So now we will do palms down, fingers facing you. And so you just can kind of sit back in your heels for a deeper stretch. If the tabletop, if that's good enough for you, then that's fine, stay there. If you need something a little bit deeper, you can sit back on your heels. Alrighty, now we will switch and we will do palms up, fingers towards you. Again, the farther your hands are from your knees, the deeper the stretch it will be. And so you shouldn't force this. This should just be a very light stretch. And you know, everyone has different ranges of their own mobility. So what Nicholas and I can do doesn't necessarily reflect what your body should be able to do. So keep that in mind and listen to your body for any limitations. You should not be feeling any pain, just some stretching. And then we will do palms up, fingers forward. And from here, you can actually, we'll make some fists with our hands while we're doing the wrist stretch. So while our palms are up and fingers are forward, we'll just make some tight fists, hold for a couple seconds, and then we'll release. And we'll do this 3 to 5 times. Alrighty, shake it out a little bit. And then we have 2 more wrist stretches. This next one is going to be, pinkies in. And so this one can be very challenging, so just do the best you can. But this is a great drill for the more advanced handstanders. Whenever we bail out of our handstands, sometimes, we turn our wrists. And so this is a great stretch to prevent injury before we go into our handstands. And then we're going to go the other way. So with your fingers facing forward, your thumbs are going to go away from each other and then around to this position. I know. Thumbs facing you. We have pinkies in and then we have thumbs away. Alrighty. So since we are going to be doing some straddle press work today, we're going to finish our warm-up with some straddle good mornings. So this is a great time to use a yoga block or a pillow if you are still working on your mobility and your pancake flexibility. So we're going to give this to Nicholas so he can be our demo today for that. And so starting out, we're going to do the first set of good mornings. It's not necessarily, it's your widest straddle where you still have stability. So anyone who's super flexible, if you have a perfect middle split, good mornings are very difficult, if not impossible, to do correctly with a full split. So you do need to bring them in a little bit, but still the widest straddle that's most comfortable in your good morning. And so we're gonna have our arms up overhead, and you're just going to lean forward as far as you can, and then back up. And we're keeping our back straight. Whenever I lean forward, I'm reaching as far as I can, and then I'm continuing to reach as I bring my body back up, maintaining, we're gonna keep our core nice and tight, and we're also gonna keep our back flat. So we're going to do 6 good mornings in our open straddle. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Now, shake it out a little bit, move your feet a little closer together. This is going to be our narrow straddle for good mornings. Same concept. When you get to the lowest part of your pancake, you're just going to reach forward and then reach forward, keeping your back straight all the way up. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. All right, shimmy your feet a little closer into your pike. We're going to stretch out our pike as well. And so in this case, if you have a yoga block and you're using it, if you want to try and really extend your reach, you can use the yoga block in your hands, try and surpass your feet, and then back up. You gonna give that a try? Yeah, perfect. So if you're not there yet, that's fine too. Again, we're just reaching as far as we can up and as far as we can forward. For 6, ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alrighty. Whew. Shoulders are burning. So let's take a deep breath. Nicholas, if you want to grab some water, you can, and then we will move into our first skill. So we're going to immediately start with our skill work for a press handstand. And so I'm going to walk you through a bunch of different progressions, and then depending on where you are in your own personal practice, choose that progression that fits you and challenges you without fear of getting hurt, and then that's where you will continue practicing for the remainder of the practice, if that makes sense. Before we just jump right into skill work, we're going to do just a quick 30-second handstand hold. So if you have a freestanding handstand and you want to kick in, by all means, and we're just going to do 30 seconds. If you don't make it to 30 seconds, come down, shake it out, kick back in. If you're not doing it freestanding, then find a wall and just place your hands on the ground, kick into whatever handstand you're most comfortable with in terms of if you are away from the wall a little bit and you're trying to kind of find your balance, or if you're just flat up against the wall, that's fine as well. You can do belly in, you can do your back to the wall, whatever suits you best. We just want to get our wrists ready and our shoulders loaded for our press work. So Nicholas, I guess I'll just very quickly show the different kick-in options for just the freestanding handstand. So if we're kicking into the wall, we're just going to get in however is most comfortable, and then this will be our hold. If you want to do belly to wall, if that's where you are, then you're just going to walk your feet up the wall until you get to the position that you're most comfortable in, and then we'll hold this for 30 seconds, and then you'll come down. And then Nicholas is going to go ahead and do the 30-second freestanding, and I'm just hold on for a second. I'm just going to be here to just help him hot potato spot. If you're doing this at home, again, just kick in for the 30 seconds if you don't make it the full time. So we're going to start in 3, 2, 1. Good. Very nice. So you're concentrating on pushing your shoulders, pushing your shoulders away from the floor. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, come down. Good job. And when I say pushing your shoulders away from the floor, I actually just mean you just want to push as tall through your shoulders as possible in your handstand. So we're going to go directly into some skill work. We're going to start with the most basic drill, and then we will go through the different progressions in order to challenge the more advanced students who are tuning in today. So for a straddle press, apologize, I got kind of away from my mat. We're going to, the first drill, if you've never done a straddle press, if you're nowhere close to getting it, we just want to work on loading our shoulders and identifying sort of that hip compression. And so with your feet wider than shoulder width apart and your hands down, what you'll do is you'll just lean on your toes, put all the weight in your hands, and then back. So we're loading our shoulders, we're pushing tall, and then we're coming back down. If that feels good, then we're going to try and push, we're going to rock forward on our hands, and then we're going to do a toe tap with one of our feet to our hands, just one at a time. So we'll push forward, do a little toe tap, come back down. We'll push forward, do a little toe tap, come back down. So if that's where you are, we're going to do, you're going to either do 10 rocks forward, or you're going to do 5 rocks with your right toe tap, 5 rocks with your left toe tap. From there, if you are a bit more advanced, we're going to try and do a little bit of a hover, or a little bit of a float. So you're going to put all the weight in your hands, you're going to try and find a little bit of a float, and then you're going to come back down. All the weight in your hands, a little float, come back down. Again, moving on from there is the puppy press. So it's kind of a big jump from hover to puppy press. So again, it's much better to feel very confident before you move forward with a puppy press attempt. But so the way that a puppy press works is rather than doing a straddle press with both legs, you do a straddle press with one leg bent and already raised, and so it counterbalances in order to get you into that straddle press. So, okay, so I'll demo a puppy press for you guys. So with your hands on the floor and setting your feet a little bit wider than hip width, you're gonna prep yourself for your straddle press, but you're gonna lift one leg so that it's already as high as you can get. You push on your toes, and that's the beginning of your puppy press. Let's see if we can do it again. Woo. Normally we can stick it. So that's with your right leg bent. Going into it with your left leg bent is the exact same concept. So if that's the skill level that you're at, we're gonna do 5 with the right leg bent and 5 with the left leg bent. So I'll try and do a better demo with my left leg bent. That's your puppy press. Alrighty, moving into the more advanced straddle press, we're going to do 5 straddle press positives and 5 straddle press negatives. So for the positive, Nicholas is going to demo. Set yourself up, again, feet width apart, whatever you're most comfortable with, and you're going to put the weight into your hands. Slide your feet if you can. Otherwise, if you have a slight jump at the bottom, that's okay as well. Stick it at the top, give yourself a little hold, and then that is the straddle negative. So Nicholas can do the positive and the negative back to back pretty consistently. For those of us who are still working on control of both, for the straddle negative, Nicholas is just going to kick into his handstand, find his balance, and then do a very slow descent of the negative, as slow as he can. Pressure's on. Great job. So that's the straddle negative. If we have any viewers out there who are working their pike press or already have it, you can absolutely do that at this time. You can even do a puppy pike press where you would start with one leg. Let's see. So you'd start with your feet together, one leg bent, and you would go up on your toes. That was not it. However, that's it. And then back down. So you can do, you can alternate which leg. And then again, if you have your pike press, then by all means, let's do 5 pike positives, and then we'll do 5 pike negatives. So we're gonna break, well, those of you who are at the beginner level, you've probably already gotten your sets in, so take a deep breath, grab some water. We're gonna let the more advanced students get their 5 reps of each in. So Nicholas is going to work his positive and his negative in the same set. So he's just going to do 5 good positive straddle presses, followed by the negative once he finds his balance in that handstand.
So no pressure.
Good.
Cadence might be a little slower.
Yeah, so this is going to take a little bit of time, so he and I can actually trade off. Let's see, so I've been working my pike presses, so I can show you guys a demonstration of that with the positive and the negative for anybody who's working towards it. One of the most difficult parts of the pike press is just the mobility side of getting your hips as high as you can from the get-go. So I like to get my hands and feet as close as I can, go up on my tiptoes. And then work the negative as well. Nicholas's turn. Very good. Very good. And again, you have to kind of take some breaths. So hopefully this time frame, everybody's been able to kind of work on their own, progress to where they are in their own practice. And then once you get to a stopping point, again, grab some water, and then we will move on from there. Well, so between the two of us, we can do 5. How many more do you have?
Well, if we don't count the one that did Everton too.
Okay, so he'll do one more, and then I can finish it up for you guys. Also, this is a very real scenario at home. Beware of fans and ceiling lights.
For sure.
Alrighty, so I'll do pike positive and negative. Give it a try. Oh, I guess lastly, even though this is in hindsight, for anyone who has a very good positive and negative, it's always a great practice also if you want to keep on going down into a stalder. We'll see where my practice is today, so no guarantees, but it would just be a normal straddle press, and then when you come down, you would skip your feet and go into an L-sit. Whew. All right, so we're going to now move into some compression work. So we got our skills training out of the way. So now we're gonna work on our hip flexors because the more flexion we get, the better all of our press work will be. So in a comfortable straddle, not quite as wide as you can go, but a little bit more narrow, we're going to face our right knee, and you want to turn your shoulders, and then we're just going to lift this leg as high as we can for 10 reps. And again, these are very difficult to do. If you're only getting a little bit of clearance off the ground, that's okay. What we don't want is like a bend flick. We're not looking for that. So keep your leg as tight as you can. And if you're only lifting it a little bit, that's okay. But make sure the knee is tight and the leg is tight. So we're going to do 10 on our right leg, 10 on our left leg, 10 on both legs, and then a 10-second hold. So starting with the right for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whew. So again, with these, you want to try and keep your back up and straight as possible. And then if you need it to be more difficult, you can lean farther down your leg. If it's too hard, you can kind of sit up a little bit more, but we do not want this because we want to really concentrate on the hip flexors or isolate the hip flexors. So left, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alrighty, both legs. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Shake it out for a second. 10-second hold, both legs. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good job. All right, you can shake your hips out. You can do kind of like a little side back and forth. Loosen it all up. So we're going to do that same sequence, but we're going to do it in a pike position. How are you feeling? Good? All right, so you can see the side with Nicholas. So in the pike, same concept. Keep your back nice and flat, shoulders up, straight. The closer you lean to your feet, the harder it's going to be. If you have amazing compression and you're lifting your leg up to your face every time, you need to be bending farther over. So 2 to 3 inches off the ground is probably a good indicator of when you need to move your hands farther down. So we'll start with our right leg. Ready for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, shake it out. Both legs. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, 10-second hold. Ready. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good job. Alrighty. So if that's feeling great and you want to do another round, by all means, for the sake of time, we're going to go ahead and start to cool down. So we're going to stretch out. We're going to stretch out our wrists, and then we're going to stretch out our hips. So on your hands and knees, we're going to do palms down, fingers forward. We're going to lean forward a little bit. And this can be more of a static hold. You're kind of telling your body that you're done with the workout. Bring your heart rate down. We're gonna do palms up, fingers back. And again, elbows, the eye of the elbow should be facing forward. Shoulders should be away from your ears. Alrighty. Then we will do fingers back, palms down. Sit back to whatever feels most comfortable for you. And then last, we're going to do palms up, fingers forward. Alrighty, stretch out those hip flexors a little bit. Let's do some lunges. So we'll do right leg up. You're going to just push as far forward as is comfortable. You want to make sure that your knee is not going over your foot. So we don't want to be in this position. We want to make sure that our ankle and knee are aligned as best we can. If you need a deeper stretch in the hip flexor, you can take the opposite arm up. So if your right leg's forward, take your left arm up, and you can actually reach over your body, and it really gets that hip flexor good. But you want to make sure that your hips are facing forward, because if you're opening up to do this, it's not really getting it. Alrighty, and then let's switch legs. So left leg forward, sit, and then just kind of ease into it. So in terms of, again, feeling the hip flexor, depending on your mobility, if you push forward, you might feel it here. If you push forward and pull your chest back, you might feel it there. If you need a little bit more, again, you can put that opposite arm, or the same hip flexor arm up, and then lean in the opposite direction. All right, and then last but not least, we're gonna do a seal stretch. So place your hands on the ground, whatever's comfortable, and you're just going to sit yourself up. You wanna bring your shoulders away from your ears, and you just wanna try and let your body kind of sink in. You definitely don't want all of the load to be in your lower back because it will hurt. So you can spread your legs a little bit. You want to keep your core engaged to an extent while also being able to feel that stretch. You can look over your right shoulder, and it'll kind of get that left hip flexor. Look over your left shoulder, get the other one really good. And then come out of it. So that's all that we have for you today. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time.